The wife never would have imagined her husband would actually take her out for beef noodle soup. She even praised her husband for being such a good man. What she didn't know was that every single one of the man's actions had been carefully rehearsed and practiced. Even this time was deliberately meant to distract his wife, because underneath his workshop, he was holding captive a childhood friend, who also happened to be a journalist. His perfect husband image had never once made his wife suspicious. Even just earlier in his workshop, when she discovered broken glass fragments on the floor, her husband casually said he had accidentally dropped and broken something. His wife believed him without a second thought. What she didn't know was that it was actually from when he and his friend had fought earlier. Keep in mind his wife was a detective, and she would never suspect her own husband. That night, when his wife woke up in the middle of the night, she discovered her husband wasn't beside her. The time was 3:30 a.m. She thought her husband might be in the living room, but found the house unusually quiet. Just then, their front door was opened by someone. She saw a figure in a raincoat slowly approaching. When the man removed his hood, his wife finally breathed a sigh of relief. Her husband's explanation was he had specially bought her beer and fried chicken. His wife didn't doubt this explanation at all. She even praised her husband for becoming more and more thoughtful. The next morning, a murder occurred at a restaurant. Seeing the victim's brutal condition, Ji-won couldn't help but remark how cruel it was. Fortunately, there was a security camera overhead, so the police began reviewing the surveillance footage. After watching it, Ji-won's eyes widened. Although she couldn't make out the person's face, that raincoat looked very familiar. It made her involuntarily think her husband had come home wearing a raincoat last night. But Ji-won quickly dismissed any suspicion of her husband. First, her husband was too gentle. Second, before the incident, the victim had left a voice message for a journalist, saying someone named Hyun-soo had been threatening him recently. Halfway through his message, an unexpected visitor appeared outside his door.
동현수가 나타났어. 내가 머리숱에 분명히 목살 놓는다고 했잖아.
When he tried to grab a tool to defend himself, it was already too late. At this time, police also traced the last phone call to a journalist named Kim. Strangely enough, his phone had been turned off this entire time. Actually, journalist Kim was already being held captive at this point, and it was by her husband, Baek Hee-sung, whose real name was Hyun-soo. He then used a password to enter the journalist's home. Under interrogation, he learned the information about him was stored on the computer. After searching, he found it wasn't actually information about him. He became furious that he had been lied to. In fact, the journalist had indeed used delaying tactics to buy time for self-rescue. To get to the bottom of the case, Ji-won went to journalist Kim's home. Strangely, there seemed to be no one home, and yesterday's lunchbox was still sitting outside the door. Sensing something was wrong, Ji-won had firefighters start breaking down the door. Inside the house, Hyun-soo saw it was his own wife. His pupils immediately dilated. When they broke in, they searched every corner of the home, but found no trace of journalist Kim. What they didn't know was that there was a figure standing straight outside the window. Keep in mind this was on the 18th floor. It must be said that Hyun-soo's skills were incredibly impressive, but even the most impressive skills have their limits. A sudden sound made Ji-won become alert. At this moment, a young boy downstairs was staring intently at the scene.
도둑이야 도둑!